I'm going to give you today 4 signs of Sabbath, 4 signs that you will know I am practicing Sabbath. And these 4 signs should show up in your Sabbath day, and then they will spill over into a Sabbath lifestyle. But God wants us to first keep the Sabbath holy. Sign number 1 is this: you need to stop. The first thing we need to do to become a Sabbath people is a really complicated 4-letter word called stop. You know what the Hebrew for stop is? Stop. You know what the Greek is? It means stop. And for some of us, we won't need sign 2, 3, and 4. We'll leave today and just know I need to find a place to stop. Some of us are sitting here, we can't remember the last time we stopped. Not at a red stop sign or in our life. We've been rolling through them all, right? Sign number 2, we need to rest. We need rest. You know what's hard about rest? Rest is an act of submission and letting go. That's what's hard about rest. It's actually not finding the time to rest. What's hard about rest is you aren't the king or queen of the universe anymore. It's letting God be God. Sign number 3, it's my favorite one: delight. This, I think, separates a day off from a Sabbath. The Sabbath was meant to delight in God and his creation. If you take a day off, that's good. Your neighbor does that. If you find delight in God and his creation, now you're Sabbathing. Now you're Sabbathing. You know what it is? It's learning to play with God. And some of us are going to be super uncomfortable with that because God is rigid and he's a lawgiver and he's about only holiness and he's only about righteousness, and what he wants to say, hey, come play with me. Sign number 4 is worship. It's not Sabbath if you don't somewhere worship. This might be the hardest one. John Mark Comer helps clarify what Sabbath is and what it isn't. Okay? God commands, he says, us to remember the Sabbath by keeping it holy. To keep it holy means to sanctify it, set it apart, and dedicate it to God for his special purposes. Boy, that is not a day off, right? Sabbath isn't just a day to sleep in, relax, and do whatever brings you joy. It is a day to worship, to reorient your entire life back to its center in God. You can stop, you can rest, you can delight, but somewhere you've got to worship.